Why do you need egg-shaped balls? What are they good for? Coach Greg, and today we're gonna go over the common myths of taking steroids, okay? Things that you think are gonna happen if you take steroids, but in the real world, they actually don't, okay? It's important to be aware of these, and especially if you're considering taking them, be aware of the myths and what are the truths. It's going to cause you to have a deep voice. For women who abuse them, it can in fact deepen your voice. For men, probably not gonna happen. Have you heard my voice? Have you heard Ronnie Coleman's voice? Have you heard Mike Tyson's voice?
I don't know anything about that. I don't know nothing about numbers. I just know what I can do. How about kill this mother?
Okay.
Not everybody who has used PEDs gets a deep voice. And in fact, none of the guys who use PEDs are getting a deep voice from it. It's women. Not all females will deepen their voice, only those taking specific steroids at specific doses or higher that cause that change. You can eat whatever you want and you won't get fat. No, if it was only true, everyone would want to take it. If it was that magical, so many more people would be taking them. What really happens is it allows you to get bigger, but it doesn't make you get leaner. To get leaner, you need to be in a calorie deficit. You can't just eat everything you want. It just turns to muscle. I mean, I wish it did, but trust me, it does not. If you take steroids, you're gonna go bald, you're gonna get acne, you're gonna get GYNO. It can happen. For example, you can get GYNO, not everyone, it can. Acne, some people will get it, not everyone. And balding, you need the genetic predisposition to have that. I've been abusing steroids for over 10 years. I don't see a lot of acne. I'm clearly not bald. So it can happen, but just because you're on steroids doesn't mean you're gonna have those things. Some people, yes, but taking them doesn't automatically mean that. You can't have kids. I don't know where this one came from. Most people on steroids can and do have kids. Most people. Some people, they take steroids and they can't have kids, but then the doctor usually would give them HCG or Clomid. It would get them back fertile again. For the most part, if you're on steroids and you can't have kids, it's because you couldn't have kids in the first place. You were not able to have kids from the get-go, and you took steroids and you still can't have kids. It's not the steroids that caused that, but the fact that you were just genetically born this way in the first place. Women who take them, they all look like men. They get too huge, they're too jacked. No, have you seen the women's bikini competitors? Most of them are on steroids. Not some, most. Do they look like men? They're winning bikini competitions. Clearly they don't look like men. Can it make you look like a man? Yes, but only if you're using abusive doses. You will look amazing if you take steroids. Anyone that looks amazing, they're on steroids. Sorry, not true again. If you take steroids, it helps you to get bigger muscles. It doesn't help you to technically get leaner. You need to eat less calories to get leaner. In fact, the majority of people who take steroids on this planet, you would not know that they do. If you showed a bunch of pictures of people on steroids, most of them you would say, nope, they're probably natural. I think they're natural, when in fact they're not. You need a training stimulus to build muscle. If you just lay your ass on the couch all day long and do nothing, you're not building muscle. If you're in a coma or paralyzed, you take steroids, your legs are not going to get jacked. You need a training stimulus. Do you need to work out? Well, not necessarily. If you take steroids and you go for a bike ride or you work outside, you cut trees down, you lift things up, maybe you're building a house, you're farming, you're active, you will build muscle. But not even close to the extent of which if you were going to the gym and lifting weights and eating healthy. Okay? You need to put on the work. Steroids will help, but you need to cause the training stimulus, which should be done in the gym. So steroids, yes, they absolutely cause you to have bigger muscles, but people who are taking steroids, they don't all look amazing. You need really good genetics, and steroids, of course, can help put you over the edge. Injectables are more dangerous than orals. I used to get asked all the time, you take steroids? Oh, you just do those orals. No, I'm injecting. Whoa. You inject? That's so dangerous. Oh my goodness. I'm like, injectables are literally safer than most of the orals. Orals are more liver toxic than injectable steroids, and just because you inject doesn't make you more hardcore or more dangerous. The orals are literally more dangerous than the injectables. Even SARMs can be more dangerous than injecting testosterone. So you can't say, oh, it's dangerous because you're injecting, or it's safe because you're doing orals. It doesn't work like that. Steroids make your dick smaller. No, not at all. I haven't shrunk a millimeter from taking steroids. There is absolutely no correlation to that whatsoever. It's a huge myth. I hear it all the time. Oh, Coach Greg, you're on steroids. You have balls the size of raisins. No, the smallest I've ever seen them would be the size of a large grape. Not even close to these raisin sizes. And frankly, who cares if you have small balls? Make your dick look bigger. Why do you need egg-shaped balls? What are they good for? Steroids decrease your endurance. No, steroids increase endurance. Why? Because they increase red blood cell count. More red blood cells, more delivery of oxygen to the muscles. So if you take steroids, you're actually going to have better endurance, not worse. Some people will notice a decrease in endurance. Why? Well, if you're taking highly water-intensive steroids, like D-bol, for example, and you're gaining a lot of water weight, it can slow you down because you have more weight to carry, but you don't have less endurance. But for example, if you're bike riding up a big hill and you gain 15 or 20 pounds from a steroid cycle, you have 20 pounds more to carry. It's going to slow you down. If you're bulking and you're on steroids and you're slower, it's not from the steroids, it's from the bulking, the force feeding, the getting fatter, the bigger, the size, but your endurance is not lower. If you take steroids and keep your weight down, you will have greater endurance. Depression. Steroids are not actually going to cause you to get depressed. Steroids like testosterone are actually going to increase your mood, make you in a better mood, feel better, lower depression. In fact, low testosterone levels are associated with depression. People go on HRT who are on low testosterone levels, they take the testosterone and they feel better in their better mood and are less depressed. The problem happens when you're on a cycle and you're feeling great and then you go off. It's not the steroids causing the depression, it's the lack of it. If you go off steroids and your testosterone crashes, that's when you can get depressed. Roid rage. Testosterone and other steroids don't typically cause roid rage. They just increase what you already are. If you're a person who's always in a bad mood, probably make you more in a bad mood. If you're already aggressive, it can make you more aggressive, but it's not going to cause roid rage for a normal human being. Think of this, caffeine would be more dangerous than steroids in causing roid rage. Do we call it a caffeine rage? Ever taken 2-3 scoops of a pre-workout? How do you feel then? You see people snorting pre-workout and taking double scoops and then running around freaking out? That doesn't happen when you're on steroids, now does it? You don't see people taking testosterone and running around the house getting ready to work out. Pre-workouts, lots of caffeine, they're more likely to cause this rage than steroids. So if you think, oh, you steroids, you're going to be in a bad mood, it doesn't work like that. You're more likely a problem with caffeine than steroids. Only men should take steroids, not for women. Men and women have testosterone in the body. It's a hormone that's needed. Men with too low levels of testosterone, they need to go on HRT to feel better. Women with too low levels of testosterone need to go on HRT to feel better, just like men. And testosterone is a steroid. Just like any hormone in the body, if you don't have enough of it, it causes problems. Women need testosterone, men need testosterone. This is a steroid. You don't have enough insulin, you might need insulin. This happens with every single hormone in the human body. Men and women both need, that's not want, that's need. You need testosterone as a female. So just because you're a woman and you have lower levels of test doesn't mean you don't need them. Men have, of course, more testosterone, about 12 times more, but it doesn't mean that women don't actually need it. If you're low on testosterone, you're not feeling great, low sex drive and so on, go to see your doctor. You might actually need HRT. Hope you learned something. GregDoucette.com for coaching. Greg Doucette IB Pro. The bloops are up over there. Please watch them both. And until next time, I am out.